We want to find the domain of this function, arc cosine of 8x. Now let's think about it for a minute. The arc cosine or the inverse cosine means I took the cosine of some angle and I got 8x. Well, think of what happens when we take the cosine of some angle. What is the range for the cosine function? And we know it has to be between -1 and 1, including, it could include those ends. So 8x has to be between -1 and 1, and then we can just go ahead and solve for x by dividing everything by 8. And so x has to be from -1/8 to 1/8. If you went outside of that range, then you would be asking for something that's undefined. You'd get actually a domain error on your calculator, because we take the cosine of some angle, we're going to get a number from -1 up to and including 1. So typically they want you to write this in interval notation, and so I would list that as -1/8 to 1/8, including the endpoints. So let's look at this second one. We want to find the domain f of x equals sine inverse of 4x minus 3 over 6. Think about the range for the sine function. If we take the sine of some angle, we always get an answer between -1 and 1 inclusive. So -1 is the smallest it could be. We have 4x minus 3 over 6, and that has to be less than or equal to 1. Now we're going to take the steps to solve for x, get it alone in the middle. So we're going to multiply by 6, and we have to do that to both ends. And then we are going to add 3. Those will cancel. Add 3. Add 3. Let's write down what we have, because that's kind of a jumble now. We have -3 less than or equal to 4x, which is less than or equal to 9. And then our last step to get x alone in the middle is to divide by 4, so we do that to both ends. And now if we write it as an interval, it is going to be from -3/4 to 9/4, including those ends.